Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to more Factorio, not 15, all kinds of crazy title. Today we are finishing our first iron train station, and this is it right here. So this is going to load itself up using blue belts, which should go pretty rapid. It's going to take blue belts directly out of this warehouse. I'm just wondering if it would be quicker just to use inserters. Would it be quicker just to put chests here and store it in them and just use inserters to insert? It probably would be, wouldn't it? Thing is, these blue belts are not fully saturated right here, and we do have to do some belt kajiggering to make this work. And belt kajiggering is never that nice. So I'm wondering maybe it would be simpler just to load up a bunch of chests right here and then just use inserters and load it into these train cars. It should happen almost instantly. Although, when these blue belts are saturated, which they will get, when this train leaves, this is going to fill up, because obviously this is not going to be able to put material into it. And we should be able to... Do all of these have a little bit of coal? They probably do, because AUTOFILL probably gave them all coal. Yes, they do. Okay. So... It's taking a little while right now. I'm thinking, yeah, maybe we are just going to use inserters then. So we'll probably end up getting rid of this warehouse, and we're probably just going to build a bunch of chests here and use inserters the old-fashioned way. But for now, we are going to run this the way it is because, you know, reasons. And what we need to do... Oh, there's something that doesn't have power. Intriguing. There you go. But what for now we're going to need to do is get some signals built on all of this stuff. So... entering into each of these areas, we are going to need a regular rail signal. So that's going to go on, this side? Yes, this side entering in. And then on this side exiting out, we are going to need a chain signal, because that's where chain signals go. Coal liquefaction, that could be something worth researching. I don't really have that strong feeling about any of these things. I guess we should get the modular research done because we are going to need it eventually. Or just stop researching and stop using materials so our iron lasts a little longer. Why the hell is this... There is no signal here that should be interfering with this train track, so I should have points on both sides of it available right now, but there is not at the moment, which is intriguing. But let's lay some chain signals down to get out. So the chain signal getting out is going to go there, which is going to allow us to put something for coming into it. The chain signal for you to get out is also going to need to come here, which means you're going to need to have a regular signal coming in there, and you're going to need a regular signal coming in there, which will also allow a chain signal on the output. Very good. And then you guys, it's a left-hand drive, which means they will be coming down along this track, which means that we are going to want chain signals here. And also, I guess, here. Makes the most sense, right? Yeah. That'll do. And then this one, it is left-hand drive, so it's possible that we might need them to get in from this section here or from this section here. So we will put chain signals there. And then outputs, you coming out, it is left-hand drive, so you're going to come out and you'll exit onto this. So that would be a signal there and a signal... No, not signal there. What am I doing? That's the wrong drive side. You would exit onto here, or you would exit out onto here. However, there is already a chain signal there to control because it has another input going into this guy, so we don't need to worry about that. Yeah? Yeah. Good. And then this guy would exit out this way where there is already a chain signal because it has another station to control, so we don't need to worry about that. Or it could exit out this way. And we don't need a chain signal here, we need just a regular one, so let's just drop a regular signal down like so. So this is telling us that one of the paths is clear, not all paths are clear. This is good, this is fine, all paths are clear going out this way, which is pretty much exactly what we expected in this situation. And then we're going to have to just drop some more signals along the way. So this is our return path here. We're going to want some regular roll signals every now and then along the return path. Honestly, we don't really need to put regular signals here, but they speed trains up. That way a train can leave before everything is totally clear. You do generally want these to be at least one train length distance in between them all the time, because you could cause some hiccups otherwise. But that doesn't really matter when we have straightaways like this. It's really just for getting the trains out a little bit quicker when you have straightaways like this. When it really matters is when you start having other turnoffs as well. When you start getting other turnoffs too, then it's a big deal that you have this built correctly, because you could have situations where your trains end up doing really stupid shit. And colliding and blowing up. And trains colliding and blowing up while they do stupid shit is just fun, isn't it? I think it is. Anyway, I'm going to signal this lineup, and I'm going to signal the return lineup, and I'll be back. Okay, and when we get all the way down to the stacker here, we are going to want a chain signal entering into it. And we're going to, change the signals in here as well. But for now, that will give us a chain signal here. If one of these is full, this will go blue, and it'll allow something into the other ones, and everything will be fine. So that's good. And then here, and then we need to signal up the actual station itself as well real quick. And that's no problem. So we've got our chain signals here. I don't want trains coming out of the stacker and like sitting in here. So the next signals after these chain signals are going to be the actual signals coming into the stations here themselves. And these are going to be standard signals, not chain signals. And that's going to be one for each one of these stations, basically. So the idea is I want them to stall in the stacker if there's nowhere that they're going to be able to go. And the outputs from each of these need to be a chain signal. And this is a two-way track here, these stations. So these do need to have a chain signal on them. And you can see they are blue because not every possible path that they can take is good to go. Yeah, no, this is fine. Now, right now, there is these paths are all blocked because the signals on this side are preventing them from coming this way. I mean, technically it could come out and it could come up to one of these signals potentially, but the Pathfinder would never do that. It needs a way out, and it currently doesn't have a set way out because there's no signals on this path until we get all the way over here. The next signal on these paths are all the way over on this side of the world. So we do need to have some signals for the outputs coming out of these as well. And honestly, I don't think I want multiple trains. Do I want multiple trains clogging up in here? I guess I could do that. I'd have to use chain signals to make that work though, and I really don't want to do that. For now, what I think I might do is just have one output path. So no trains will get stuck in this. It'll only move one of them out at a time. And in order to achieve that, all we need to do is put one output signal over here. And then if anything is out in this path, then nothing else will be allowed out. So to achieve that, all we need is one regular old rail signal right here, basically. That's going to make all of these guys go green, and that should actually... Does that make everything over here go green as well? I think... no, these are still blue because... Oh, I haven't signaled up that track yet, that's why. No shit, Sherlock. Alright, so now I am going to lay the return signals coming the other direction on the other track, and we should be good to go once we're done. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, signaling should be all taken care of, and I don't believe we completely screwed the pooch on this one. But if we were to come here now and we were to set up some stations here. We'll go base in iron until inventory empty. Add a condition, time passed, or let's say 45 seconds have passed, so we will either empty our inventory or 45 seconds. You know what? No. No. Delete that. Until inventory empty. And then we will go to this station, which I should probably quickly rename, shouldn't I? Yeah, you are going to be outpost iron, or outpost out iron. We will call you outpost 1 for the time being. We'll probably rename all this stuff in the future, but for now this is how this is going to be. And you will be outpost 1 out iron, inventory full, or time passed, and we will use or on this one. We'll make it 60 seconds. You've waited here for a minute, or your inventory is full. And now we will go automatic, and this should bring us where we need to go safely. And it's going to take us on the left-hand side, because that's the side that's signaled to drive on. We got an achievement for it too, which is nifty. And let's head on over, and we're just going to make a round trip on this train. The first train in our Railworld. I do want to mine out a couple more of these patches along the way as well, and build a couple more of these stations and put a few more trains on them. I'm okay with trains going in the stacker, so this is going to go right through the stacker. It's going to come on in. It's going to come to the iron depot, just as expected. And then that's going to unload. And the unload happens... yeah, we can make this unload happen a lot quicker with inserters, couldn't we? Oh, yes indeed. We can make this unload happen a lot quicker with inserters. I mean, it's filling up the warehouse nice and quick, but yeah. I mean, we could still run 4 belts coming out to this, but the idea is I just want to unload into some chests and just store it here and then move on so that the next train can come in and all that kind of crap. And we can make this happen a whole hell of a lot quicker if we just get some inserters here instead. See, this is why I like using inserters and I don't like using loaders, ladies and gentlemen. For train unloading, at least. It's just silly to do it otherwise. Oh my goodness, it's taking forever. It'd have been done by now if we had inserters on it. Would have been done long ago, actually. Would have taken like 1/10 of a time to unload this train using stack inserters. So we are going to switch to inserter unloading. I might keep this set up the way it is for now, just because whatever. But once we get logistics system up and running and we get some logistics train stops going, we are definitely going to do this a little bit differently. And then we'll just ride the train back out, and it's going to ride on the other rail this time, which is the left hand still. And it's going to take us out. And it should bring us right where we need to go. We're in the end of it now. You'll notice that when you use these two-headed trains and they go into train stations, they will reverse their direction. So it does not work to make like a supply train that has one car with one set of stuff and one car with something else. That won't work. You might even need to wait more than a minute potentially. Well, no, as long as this stays like full on. Oh my goodness. Holy crap, we completely filled that warehouse. Oh no, I guess I was waiting with this train sitting here for a while. That makes sense. Yeah, no. It makes sense that we filled this warehouse. Never mind. Is a minute going to be enough to do this though? I want to make sure this train actually completely fills. And again, we could have filled it a lot quicker using inserters. But yeah, the train, because the train, what is the front now will be the back the next time I come into something. So you can never like orient when you load up the supply train with what materials it's going to need properly, and it should go out now. Yep, good. All right, so we got more iron coming in. That's good to know. So when you load them up as supply trains, you have to make sure all the cars are the same. So just, you know, distinguish what goes in each slot. You can't have one car be one thing and one car be another, because every time you come in, if the first car is lasers and the second car is walls, for example, every time it returns to the depot or every time it returns to base, it's going to flip itself over. So this time it'll have walls in the front and lasers in the back. Next time it shows up, it'll have lasers in the front and walls in the back, and it's just not pretty. Unloading it is fine if you use like active provider chests or whatever, but I mean, loading it up is a bit of a pain in the ass. Guess it doesn't really have to be if you just go from the hip, but if you actually like assign what everything needs to be, it can cause some problems. So next thing we need to do is actually plumb this iron into here. And I had designed this so that I would just run the iron directly from this side, but I still have this warehouse because I still have these guys working, so I'm not sure how I want to do that. I'm tempted just to run red belts down here, and we'll just connect into this warehouse, and then we'll just run out of this warehouse until all of these guys are done at least, and then we'll do something else. And if I want to do that, it's going to take a lot of real estate up here, but I don't necessarily mind that. I've got a lot of power at the moment, so let's blueprint that and do this. And then blueprint this and just do this. Robots, do my work for me. And you can see my suit power is just depleting as I do this. But that's okay, because the roboports themselves have some power as well, so when my battery runs out, we'll be fine. Everything will be a-okay. We ran out of red belt. I'm pretty sure I've got red belt in a warehouse down here somewhere, or maybe I've taken it all already, I don't know. Ah, we're picking up the miners. Looks like I've taken it all. It was in this one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I can get red belt from up there. It's okay. Do I have the loaders that I'm going to need for this? I don't. Do I want to build the loaders? Obviously, I'm going to need to. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to need a couple more, and I'm short iron to make that happen. So let's grab some of that too. 50,000. So we are definitely running out of iron over here. Let's just grab a few of these and build 2 more loaders real quick. It's going to take me a little bit of time to build them, but I also need to actually finish laying the belts and everything first, so I don't mind. And let's just grab a whole pile of red belt, basically as much as I can carry for the time being. And we'll head back. I don't have my car on me. I also don't have an exosuit. I should get some processing units under construction, but I wanted to secure more iron and copper first. The next thing after we secure the iron and copper is going to be processing units, and we're going to put them in here. That's blue circuits. And the reason I want blue circuits is because you need them for higher tier modules, but also because you need them for everything better than modular armor and all of the better tiered modules and whatnot as well. Very good. Robots, go pick up all those miners. Looks like these ones, oh yeah, these ones are going to be depleted in no time as well. We are definitely using up resources rapido. And it's nighttime now too, so we are not going to be generating power, so fantastic. Fantastic is what I have to say. What direction is that facing? It's facing the right direction. That's what direction that's facing. And we're going to need 1, 2, just like that. And you will go something like there. And then you'll go something like there. And then I'll just fill in the corners myself. Assuming I still have enough red belt, because we just laid a whole bunch more down. Or power. If we look at our suit now, the roboports themselves are depleting. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, they are rapidly depleting. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. We've used almost half of our actual roboport power too. So you guys are going to need to have downward facing ones in these positions. Cool. What's next? I guess braking force? Sure. Train braking force. That's what's next. How many of these do I have? 448. Yeah, we got plenty. We're good. No problem. And those tiles are all going to need to have something facing that direction in them. Done. And is that everything? Is that all the joints I need to make? I think that is all the joints I need to make. I'm not totally sure, but it looks like this still isn't... Oh, you know what, though? We need to connect coal as well. Hold on. Before we run out of coal, I hadn't done this yet because I was waiting. But let's connect our coal in. This is a red belt, and these are just, you know, yellow, but whatever. In fact, we could make this a little bit better. Let's make this a red belt. Let's run it the right direction, though. We're gonna make this red all the way up to this splitter on both sides. Done. There we go. So that's gonna get us a little bit more coal coming in here. And I mean, we could resplit here. Like, we could rejoin these to use like a combined belt balance, whatever, but we don't really need to. We're going to treat this like the one belt. This is actually the power belt, so it is kind of bad to leech stuff off, but it's leeching stuff off for trains, and trains honestly don't use a whole lot of coal, so I'm not too upset about that. This train is still operating though, right? Yes, it is. Very good. Don't be on the track. Good. Not on the track. This is reasonable. 24,000 built up in it. Oh crap, I'm going to need more of these too. Damn it. Yeah, I don't have outputs. So let's run our outputs over here and run these guys down. And to do that, we're going to want down, 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 down. And the warehouse will balance it for us because, you know, that's what it does when it has loaders connected to it. So we've got the 4 blues coming in as the trains allow, and this is just going to shunt the iron down into this other warehouse, which is going to direct it up. We will get rid of this stupid little iron loop nonsense that's happening here once we have this patch mined out and this other patch totally mined out. Like, once all of this iron is completely mined out, we will get rid of this stupid loop around bullshit. But for the time being, at least, you know what we could do? We could steal these, and we can steal these other ones that don't have anything coming on them. Yeah. That's what we can do. Done. And we got 10 of you. Go ahead and insert in. And there we go. Now we're going to have a little bit more iron coming through. Cool. And take a look now, though. The copper is not saturated anymore, which means we are out of backstock in our whatchamafucket in our warehouse over there. We've run out of backstock. But this is probably the most iron we've ever had running through this line at the moment, which is intriguing because it's going to deplete pretty quickly. We aren't actually mining that much. And the train isn't actually bringing it to here that often. We're definitely going to need some more of those up and running if we want to make this work. But we have secured a little bit more of an iron supply, and we've got the first little section of our main line run. What I'm going to want to do is tap this one since it's so close to us, also tap this one since it's so close to us, and tap this huge guy here and this little guy here since they're pretty close to us as well. I also want to get these 2 copper tapped out so that we can get some additional copper coming in. And we'll get multiple trains running iron and copper back into base here. And our big priority, once we have all of that secure, basically all those resource patches I was just talking about, is to get into high-tech science. And with high-tech science, we are going to want to get logistics system right away. And once we have logistics system, we are basically retooling the base. We're going to retool to build modules. And then once we have enough modules to build a smelting array, we are going to build a new smelting array and logistics train stations and start getting our roboports up and running and all that good stuff. But that means high-tech science. That requires batteries, processing units, speed modules, and copper cables. Tier 1 speed modules only need green and red circuits. But the thing is, remember, each one of those processing units needs 20 electronic circuits, so every factory is going to require its own green circuit factory in order to provide. It also uses a decent number of advanced circuits, and when we get into modules, which are they actually in production? They are in production. Speed modules need 5 advanced circuits and 5 electronic circuits each, and they create 1 every 15 seconds. So if we are going to need to do this, and it needs 1 speed module every 14 seconds, that means that we actually basically need 1-for-1 speed modules to these factories. So if I needed 6 of these factories, I would need a minimum of 6 speed modules, realistically more like 8. And that's going to use a lot of these, especially since 3 processing units every 14 seconds. This takes every 10 seconds to make 1. Oh boy, yeah, this is going to use a lot of circuits is what it's going to use. Like just butt tons of circuits to make this research work. So I almost want to double the green circuit production that I have right now. I mean, I could extend this back further. I would have to take advantage of red belt for the iron, red belt for the greens, because we're going to be making so many of them soon, and also probably blue belt for the copper. But damn, that's a lot of green circuits is what this is going to take. It's also going to take a healthy amount of red circuits when you think about it. And I do think I want to merge the red circuits into 1 belt instead of running this 2 belt nonsense. Well, I do like having 2 belts for it and making it look like a Christmas tree. I think we're going to need to get processing units on a belt here, because we're going to need them for making our modules and whatnot. Okay, so I think that's going to be our priority, and we're going to get that done next time. This time we finished our train station. You know what I should do? I should build radars like in all of these locations so that I can actually zoom in on them. You need to either have a player there or have radar there to zoom in on the location and view it. So basically anything where you have vision like this, you can zoom into. I would definitely perhaps like to get some more radar going on. We can watch our train load up and then move off into oblivion, and then go around the map in oblivion, and then we can see it come back in again. Actually, we can't, because I don't have vision over in this neighborhood. I only have vision with radars over here. So this other half of my factory that actually has production happening in it, I can't even see. It would be good to have at least radar coverage over there too. Okay, anyway, I think off camera what I'm going to do is secure this big old iron patch and some of these other little iron patches, and also some of this copper here, and get trains running for those to bring even more iron and copper in. And then we will join up again when it's time to start working on high-tech science, I think, which will not be too far in the future. I mean, that's going to require working on processing units first, I think. I don't want to start working on modules yet. I want to start working on processing units first. So I think that's the next order of business. Thank you for tuning in to this episode, and I'll see you all again next time.